Yeah, so I guess this will take us to another luminary of the genre with Lucio Fulci. It's Zombie 3.
Yes. Now, I don't know if you're picking up on sarcasm in Scott's voice or not, but let me tell you where that came from. A sequel in style and content, though not story, to his own Zombie 2, itself an unofficial sequel to Dawn of the Dead. In 1988, Italian director Lucio Fulci brought us Zombie 3. And we couldn't send it back, apparently. Though it was finished by fellow Italian Bruno Mattier, because Lucio Fulci thought it was terrible and didn't want anything more to do with it. Filmed and set in the Philippines, though possibly not set in the Philippines, despite clearly being set in the Philippines and being full of Filipinos from the Philippines, because the radio presenter talks at one point about there being an outbreak of violence in this country, and then references San Antonio and San Diego, amongst others, because, like this sentence, Zombie 3 is a one ill-conceived, rambling, poorly written mess. The story begins with a group of military scientists working on a virus called, and I kid you not, Death 1. The purpose of which seems to be to revive the dead. However, when this virus escapes and begins to revive the dead, everyone seems shocked.
Who could have predicted this?
Yes. We've got a virus called Dead 1. What could possibly go wrong? Subsequent to this, a lot of spectacularly awful dialogue is perpetrated, albeit in a visually appealing location, while the military attempt to contain the outbreak that they caused. While I would argue that some of our selected films could stand on their own, perhaps more than any other film we're covering in this episode, Zombie 3 is just a genre flick, and doesn't have much to offer, or to say, beyond what earlier better films have already done. It does bring a couple of novelties though, namely the self-propelling decapitated zombie head and ambush zombies. Especially at the end, they're kind of like trapdoor spiders. Not that this film has any idea what's going on, no. At some point, the DJ who accompanies the action throughout talks about rapes being perpetrated. Zombies are raping people now. What? You just put that in as generic threat in your terrible B movie.
Maybe these ones do. Like, if nothing else in this film, you are rolling the dice on what zombie you get. I mean, most other films have one consistent style of zombie that goes for it, but not in Zombie 3. Like, in Zombie 3, you might be getting a normal zombie that's just shuffling towards you. You may be getting one that's jumping down from the ceiling. You may be getting one that's operating a radio station. You may be getting one that, as you say, is a self-propelling head. You may be getting one that's jumping out of a hay bale. You may be getting one that's actually a pigeon. You just don't know. They get all sorts of zombies in this film. Maybe one's also a rapist. Why not? Why not?
Yes. This film is a film that has lines like, "That sounds like someone being scalped." I don't know what someone being scalped sounds like, but this film seems to think that's a known sound.
Old MacDonald had us scalping. Yeah. Didn't you learn that as a kid, Drew? Come on, we all know it.
But you've got the lyrics wrong, though, Scott. I believe it's Old MacDonald had us scalping. Ooh yeah, that smarts. Yeah, this is a strange and dull and boring film, but at least it looks nice because it's in the Philippines. But again, it may be meant to be California. I honestly can't decide. I think they forgot at least twice where they're meant to be set. And separate, like, it's like the dialogue was written entirely separately from what happens in the film, like where the film is shot, because the two don't seem to match up particularly well. Yeah, then other strange things too, like they've got the kind of your bog standard arrogant army general guy, despite the fact, he's largely responsible for what happened. And everything seems to happen largely overnight, despite the fact they spend a lot of time in an overgrown motel. But least of this film's issues. But at some point, it's just, everything about this film is just so odd in different ways. There's a scene where the general is taking a phone call and he's been told about an outbreak, I think. And there are two aides standing, one behind each shoulder, really close to him, who seem to be there just to agree with him. But that's exactly how people take phone calls in the army. They have people standing right behind them. It's so strangely set up. This film is an absolute mess, and it's terrible, and you shouldn't watch it. Can someone make it like I didn't, please?
I would agree that this film is absolutely awful, but I can't imagine. I don't know how you're bored by it. It's so entertainingly dreadful that I was quite amused by all the way throughout it. I mean, I don't think I was supposed to be amused by a lot of it, but it's just so stupid and so slapdash and so many things just thrown against the wall, and none of it seems to make any sort of sense. I mean, I think this has got like 3 credited directors on IMDb or something like that, and it kind of shows. I mean, it feels more like about. Oh, I don't know. It's more like one of those. I forget the name. Maybe Godfrey Ho. You know, one of those ninja movies that are sort of spliced together from other ninja movies and random plot lines, and none of it makes any sense. And that's really this, but with zombies instead of ninjas. We'll get to ninja zombies later, but it's just so exceptionally stupid that it's worth watching once. I mean, it's entertainingly dreadful for me. If you're bored by it, sure, I can understand why. But I would at the very least watch this at double speed, or at least find the clips on YouTube or of the just sheer insanity that's going on in some of it. It's worth taking some notice of it. But yes, it's absolutely abysmal.
What I will say is that I think this was probably like the 5th zombie film of the day that I'd watched. So by the time I got to this, I was not for it anymore. And that's not exaggeration. No, I was watching 5 or 6 zombie films a day because I left all my preparation to this weekend. So whether that was or not. Also, I was actually familiar with a lot of the stupidest parts of this already due to an episode of Red Letter Media's Best of the Worst in which they covered this.
Yeah.
And I've seen that episode several times. I think I probably already got all of my laughter out of it already. So just watching the whole film.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
No, it's not good. I just thought, you said that, they're throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks and none of it sticks. It's because I think they missed the wall entirely as well. Forgot to build the wall. It's so badly planned and badly made that they just like completely missed everything. There's nothing stuck to the wall because there was no wall for it to stick to.
It's raised the wall so high we're not sure there's a wall anymore.
Yes. So actually, watch the clips on YouTube. Maybe watch that Best of the Worst episode that has this in it, or even, you know what? I watched it quite a lot on loop. The animated GIF I put on our Twitter feed of the zombie head coming out of the fridge, because that amused the hell out of me, and I could watch that for quite a lot. The rest of it, not so much though.